Welcome back to Chameleon AMLS, guys, and we're very excited today to take you for a walk around this base 4.5 toy hauler work trailer configuration. There's been a couple of upgrades on this trailer, but it's a relatively blank canvas. Let's go and have a closer look. Whilst the 4.5 here nominates a 4.5 metre load deck from behind this standard front locker to the rear of the trailer, the Chameleon base trailer range includes everything from as small as a 2.0, being a 2 metre load deck, all the way up to a 5.9. And there's about 9 different sizes in that range. And of course, we've also got our range of ute trays to suit all your regular utes, US trucks and so on. So lots of flexibility in the Chameleon base range. So we'll jump into some of the engineering and technical components of all our base trailers, and then I'll highlight some of the upgrades and changes on this particular configuration. All our chassis are engineered in-house, laser cut, CNC laser cut, RHS tube and plate that we assemble and fabricate here in-house. Hot dip galvanised locally. We ship all our single axle trailers with an ATM from 1.4 tonne up to the 2.7 tonne limit. Tandem axle trailers typically come out at the 3.5, but can be very easily upgraded to 4 or 4.5 tonne or 4495 ATM. Only a couple of small changes around the coupling and a few things there. Looking at the drawbar of this particular trailer, we can see the Cruisemaster DO35 coupling. That's standard on all our trailers across the full range. The ARC heavy duty dual wheel jockey wheel, again standard across the range. This particular trailer tears at about 1500 kilos, ATM's at 3.5 tonnes, so even as it sits here today with the big 35-inch muddies, which we'll touch on, still over nearly 2 tonne of payload available on the back of this trailer, which is fantastic. Looking down towards the back of the base trailer here, we start to see some of the really unique features of the AMLS system that we've got here. One of the key points of that is our grid system. So across the full deck of this base trailer and across all our ute trays, every 350 mil in both directions, we've got an M12 structural anchor point tied into the chassis. Along the edge and across the rear of all our bases, we run a pair of M12s on that same grid. So you've got lots and lots of options for anchoring. As we see that chassis beam coming through to the edge of the base, common on all our trailers and our trays again, we've got a chassis beam there, 3mm stainless steel reinforced for lots of anchoring options. Tie down points to the rear here. Lots and lots of different ways you can fix our flexor parts, our locker range, or anything else you might need to use on your ute base or trailer base. Standard on all our base trailers are a Method 301 rim, best in the industry. This particular configuration has been upgraded to some BFGoodrich KM3s in a 35 by 12.5, so an upgraded tyre package. Standard is a Toyo AT2, so a very capable all-terrain tyre there. Underneath the trailer, again across the full range, we're running the Cruisemaster independent suspension. All our chassis are fabricated to accept coil or air. This particular trailer is sitting on coil, but it is upgradable without any changes to the chassis to an air suspension down the track should the customer so choose. The last thing I'd say around the rolling here is the wheel guards. We see these are fully structural, fully reinforced. They are replaceable. They're a bolt-in item. So if you happen to damage that, it can bolt out and a replacement wheel guard can be bolted on. As we swing around the back of the trailer here, we can see a couple of really key features of all our chassis. Firstly, a 5mm fully integrated welded tailgate that's part of the hot dip galvanised weldment there. That's incorporating 2 structural recovery points tied back into the chassis for rear recovery of the trailer, deck extensions, all sorts of options there. Underneath those, we've got some rock sliders again incorporated into the chassis to help with any of the longer trailers as you come through. We're seeing part of our electrical package standard on all the trailers, some fully sealed LED lights, tail lights there. We've got our own auto electricians on staff here. We Deutsch plug everything. It's all replaceable. If you happen to smash a light, it's a simple plug and play replacement. It's about being strong, it's about being durable, but it's about being maintainable as well on the Chameleon platform. So looking back down to the front of the trailer here, we'll run through some of the standard and some of the optioned components around storage on this particular configuration. The first thing we can see here is this customer's option to upgrade the front locker to what we call our Deluxe Front LOKR in a wide tall configuration. All our trailers come standard with a 350 litre top loading toolbox which would be on the front. That can be optioned off if you're looking for a little bit more deck length or some other applications, but we'd like to include some storage standard on all the packages. Like I say, this one's been upgraded to the wide tall Gullwing, and it's the wide tall front locker here, and as I open that up you can have a good look inside at some of the construction of it. So in the Deluxe Front LOKR, like all our lockers, we incorporate an internal structural frame. In this case, it's a top hat folded, all laser cut and folded here on site. Lots of flexibility and anchoring points. This one's got a shelf included, but otherwise a relatively blank canvas ready for a customer fit out or a fit out later on down the track, but a great platform to start expanding the use of your trailer. So looking at the back of the Gullwing wide tall here, this is a 2 metre wide box. We've got two main configurations in the 2 metre wide lockers. Wide standard being 930mm tall, or wide tall being the 1200mm tall. So this particular one's a wide tall, heaps and heaps of storage. But common across all our locker range are a few key features I'll point out now. Incorporated into the internally welded frame, which we'll look at shortly, we've got some structural anchor points across the bottom and across the top of the locker. That's allowing us to start to bolt on our Flexer range of products to incorporate storage for spare wheels, jerrycan holders, ladders, all sorts of other Flexer parts, max tracks, you name it. We can start to add them to the back of the locker, whether it be on this trailer, the front of the box, on a ute, doesn't matter. A couple other things I'll point out here. Standard is our electrical package here, so we've got the ability to run electrical services between lockers or to rear lights and so on from within the locker. This particular customer's optioned up our roof rail system, which you can see sitting on top. Again, we'll look at the internal frame, but all our lockers are fully welded internally framed, so the roofs are fully loadable, and by incorporating this roof rail system here, it allows us to put rooftop tents, swag, storage, ladders, whatever we need to do depending on the use of the trailer. So a really good looking, very functional upgrade option there for the locker as well. So looking around the side of this Gullwing 4.0 wide tall, we can see a couple of key points to point out. We've got our compression latches here. They're a really high quality whale tail latch. We use it across all our locker ranges on the front, the utes, the whole lot. We're getting about 8mm of compression on those, which is fantastic. This particular customer has option to colour match the door to a graphite colour, but we can see the main body of the Gullwing is powder coated with a Deluxe high impact black matte black, which is standard across all our lockers. We're just not a big fan of raw aluminium in these builds. The quality and durability we get out of the powder coat treatment is much better. So just before we open up, one more point here is our dressing plate, which adds to the aesthetic, but importantly, again in that high impact powder coat, gives us a bit of durability and additional stiffness down low on the door. The whale tails can be upgraded to central locking. Obviously that's a really popular feature on the utes, but it can be done on the trailers as well. Internally we're seeing lots of door framing here. To stiffen that door frame, we've got two cross beams here which we can use for hanging items, light fit outs and so on. All the gas struts obviously can be adjustable depending on whether we're using awnings, rooftop tents and some of those things. Moving inside the locker then, I'll start to talk through some of the construction of what we do. 3mm aluminium throughout the entire build. Full internal welded frame, aluminium frame that we utilise some aluminium RHS across the top and bottom of the walls and the internal frame. There's 4 members across the walls, across the roof and across the floor that we fully structurally weld, giving us a very, very strong frame here. We can load the roof, we can put rooftop tents, we can put tools up there, and importantly we can start to load out the internals and start to adapt the way we use this locker. So just to close out on the locker, we can see a lovely big automotive seal here that we run on all the lockers, giving us great dust sealing, good moisture. Everything's double gutted, so there's a double fold there, so we're channeling the moisture away when the door's open or the door's shut. Internally, we can see the electrical conduit access I mentioned earlier on. We can see the uni-strut frame here. This particular configuration's been optioned with a false floor. We do include access to that uni-strut, the 4 uni-strut members across the floor, so we can come back and put an eyelet into there. We can start to bolt some of our internal flexor units, drawer units, shelf units and so on. It also provides us access on how this locker's been fixed to the base itself, which is down through our grid system we spoke about earlier on. So a simple case of half a dozen bolts, we can lift this off, we can add lift off leg connection points onto the side here if that's so chooses, but we've also got lifting points on the top of the locker to lift that up and remove it off this base trailer and have a lovely big 4.5 metre load space. Super flexible, lots of storage. It's a platform the customer can start using straight away, be into the really good quality Australian-made product, and over time start to adapt and change the way this trailer's being used, how this trailer's being loaded up, which is a really cool feature of the AMLS platform. There it is guys, a fantastic base 4.5 configuration. Lots more content on our YouTube channel. We're here, give us a call. We'd love to have a chat about your ute tray, your trailer, work or play. Look forward to hearing from you.